I'm Sarah Christmyer, and I'm a Catholic Bible teacher, author, speaker. I was raised in a very Bible-believing home full of pastors, missionaries, evangelists, and so on. We were missionaries in Hong Kong for a couple of years, and Jesus was very much at the center of our lives, as was the Bible. When I fell in love with Mark, he was not a practicing Christian at all. He had been raised Catholic and had left the Catholic faith in college, as so many people do, unfortunately. And I was not going to have anything to do with him because he wasn't a Christian. But he found the Lord, and eventually we ended up getting married. We got married by my grandfather. As Protestants, we went to a Protestant church. But after I became pregnant, suddenly all of his Catholic roots came back, and he wanted to baptize the baby Catholic. And that was the beginning of a very long journey for me. We had had the baby dedicated by my grandfather, and it was a very solemn occasion, and my husband couldn't understand why we just didn't go all the way and baptize her. And add to that the fact that his mother, I think, thought that our baby would be in danger of going to hell if she died without being baptized. So it was a serious thing for them, and I figured, well, probably won't hurt her if we do it, even though I wasn't sure infants should be baptized. But we went ahead and baptized her, and it was very difficult for me because it meant baptizing her in the Catholic Church, which was not something that I had counted on when we got married. After we had the baby baptized Catholic, my husband started getting more and more and more Catholic, and he decided to go to a Catholic church. And I didn't want to go to something different, so I went with him. The church that we chose didn't have a lot of external signs that would have bothered me, like a large crucifix or statues of Mary or anything like that. So I was comfortable. The liturgy was beautiful, the music, they had gorgeous music, they had scriptural preaching. And so that was okay for a while until he wanted to continue taking it further. It started getting rather alarming to me that he was getting so Catholic, and so I joined RCIA to show him all the reasons why we could not be Catholic. And I guess it kind of backfired. In the beginning, they would tell us, they were so concentrating just on who is Jesus and who is God and why do we need a Savior. And I remember saying to him one day, they're Christian, and which is hilarious now to think that I even thought that. But I came in contact with a church that not only was Christian, but that had the teaching office of the church. When they explained the sacraments of initiation, so baptism and confirmation, I remember sitting there thinking, why didn't anybody say this like this to me before? You know, this is what I've always believed. I just didn't know it. I'd never heard it like that before. And I started to get this feeling that here was this church that had a teaching authority, that I would not have to be the Pope and decide, you know, this is what correct doctrine is, but that there was a church that would actually tell us, and it would be true. That was very attractive to me. At around the same time as I was going through RCIA, our family life started to fall apart in a number of different ways, and so I was on my knees all the time, just praying and praying. And the aspect of my husband getting deeper and deeper into his Catholicism was very distressing to me. And one day, God came to me in prayer, and he said, "Who brought you here?" And I thought, I didn't bring myself here. God had to have brought me there. And that was so infuriating to me. I kind of let God have it, you know, yelled, got it all out of my system. And when I was done, he just very quietly, it was like he reached out his hand to me and said, "I'm going this way. Are you coming?" And just very softly, gently, he let me to know that he had something to do with this, that there was part of there was a bigger plan behind it. And I was raised that if God asked you to do something, you do it. Even if you have to go into the jungles of Africa, which I didn't want to do. The Catholic Church felt like that to me, I have to be honest. But I obeyed and I became Catholic. So it wasn't until after that that a lot of the lights started to turn on in terms of what Catholic belief was, and me starting to understand that. It was a while before that happened.